Today we're going to be sharing user comments and questions. For the video we did recently called I Woke Up and I Was Gone, Spiritual Awakening Story, user Massive Lib commented, "You can't be gone because you were never there to begin with." I would say the you that is gone is a hallucination. So yes, hallucinations can come and go. In Advaita Vedanta, it's usually described as a rope appearing as a snake, or it could be a mirage in the desert appearing as a body of water, say a lake. So if you believe there's a lake, for example, you think, oh, there's a lake and it's really a mirage. At some point, maybe you travel enough or you study it or you look at it and all of a sudden you realize that there's no lake. It's a perceptual distortion caused by heat, refraction of light, and so on. So definitely the self that you hallucinate as being who you are is like the lake. There's no lake. So in a mirage, I think we all get that. It looks like a lake. We think it's a lake. We believe it's a lake. There is no lake. There never was. All there was an appearance of a lake in your mind. In a similar way, when you wake up, the self that you assume yourself to be, the separate and separative sense of self, the person, the one who's born and dies, the self concept, that one, it isn't who you are, but it appears to be. Everything about it is an appearance in your mind. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means that it's not real. Real means, in this definition, real means eternal and unchanging. The nature of reality is eternal and unchanging. So in this comment that says you can't be gone because you were never there to begin with, the lake is there. It's just in your mind. And it's not real, but it does exist in a certain sense. So I don't agree with this statement. Again, much gratitude and massive respect to anyone who comments on any of these videos. I do appreciate it. So please keep doing that. But I think we can respectfully agree to disagree on this one. You can't be gone because you were never there to begin with. To me, that's a conceptual formulation. I don't agree with it because the lake was there in your mind and you suffered from it because you were afraid of drowning in it, for example. That fear is very real. So you lived your whole life in massive anxiety of drowning in the lake. Your whole life is structured around the fear of drowning in the lake. That's very similar to how we live with the ego. Like, what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? This attachment to self, this struggle for survival, when it's really just a passing phenomenon. It's an illusion that that's who we are. It's not. You may have spent a large portion of your life afraid of drowning in the imaginary lake. It was real to you. It was real to everyone. Everyone was hallucinating that. And we all just agreed, oh, the lake, the lake. Some people boasted of lakefront property, and you thought, man, if I could only get that, imagining the palatial estate you'd have and the waterfront, and you'd invite all your friends. It's not real. Now, was it never there to begin with? That's a good question. In a way, yeah, it was never there, but what is it that wasn't there? There wasn't a lake there, literally, but there was one here, and you suffered from it your whole life. So that's why I don't agree with it. Again, it comes down to suffering. The valid question is, do you suffer? Do you suffer? And we do until we don't. It's an important question. It is not a judgment. It is not a judgment. It's either happening or it's not happening. It's an activity. Suffering, in the sense of egoic suffering, the root cause of suffering is an activity of attachment to a false self, like to the lake. So my experience, for example, in this moment is there's a sense of self, but it's like a passing cloud or something. It isn't who I am. It's an aspect of the mind that gets invoked when it's necessary. Like, hi, how are you? Oh, where are you from? I detect an accent. Where are you from? You know, you tell them your backstory. Is that who you are? No. It's really okay because it's held consciously. And the whole point of doing that is to be present for this person who's asking the question, as if to ask the question, who are we? What is true? What is this? What is this? The answer is wordless, and you take it with you. You exude it, if you will. And yeah, if you don't take a shower long enough for enough days, you'll exude something else. The human part is important. It's transcendent, it's immanent, it is all of it. The human part is part of it. It is nothing but that. So I get where this comment is coming from. I just don't agree with it. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube and in other places, other things that have been written and spoken and so on. This sort of Neo-Advaita non-duality thing. Oh, we're pure awareness. There's no suffering. There's no, insert convenient noun here. There's no this, there's no that. It's just we're already free. And then what kind of life are you living? Do you suffer? That's all that matters. Now that sounds like it could be a judgment. Do you suffer? Like, what's wrong with you? No, no, no. Forget that. Back off a little bit. Clean slate. I would say it's a koan or it's an inquiry. Is there suffering? Do I suffer? I've heard the teaching enough to know, okay, I hear what suffering is. Is that true for me? Or is that happening? Is that going on? Is it a lake? Do I see a lake? Do I imagine there's a lake? Does it keep me up at night? If yes, then yeah, there's work to do. You may have heard from some sage from a text, oh, the lake isn't real, just be at peace. Okay, are you at peace? That's another way to ask it. Am I at peace? The honesty that's required to answer that question is important. I think some of you might say that it's not serious or it doesn't matter. I would say it does. And it all comes down to suffering. I happen to have a lighter here and I'm not going to light it. I mean, I could. I don't smoke. I just happen to have a lighter there. I don't know why. If I hold this lighter under my hand long enough, I'm going to want it to stop. It doesn't require thought. It's just obvious. So the question is, do I suffer? I know personally, I couldn't live the way I've been living. I don't want to tell my whole story here. There's so much to that. My story, whose story? I could go all day with that. Who's asking? To whom does it arise? As a person, yeah, I suffered. Well, how deep was the lake in your section? It's a hallucination we're all having. It's just when you're awake, you know what it is, and you're using the elements of the illusion to communicate. It doesn't matter what you do as long as it's useful to help the other person realize that same consciousness that we are. That's the whole point of this thing. Wake up.